Hey everyone, time for another bonus $1,000 strap search. My second one this week. I happen to have a lot of singles, so I figured I'll do two of them. Got my 1,000 right here. Went through those, and before I get to it, I want to give you a little bit of an update on my quarter hunt. I went looking for some of the West Point quarters. I did not find a West Point quarter. However, I did find a Kansas state quarter, not in the greatest of shape, but when you look at the Kansas quarter on the front, you can see where it says, "In God We Trust," right there. Trying to get that as close as I can without it blurring. However, when they were cleaning the dies, the T in trust, in God We Trust, became obscured. And what happens is you get a coin that says, like this one does, I'm trying to get it to focus, the T is still there, the first T in trust, but if you look just right, it says, "In God We Rust." The T becomes almost invisible when you tilt it at the right angle. That is the "In God We Rust" error. It's worth a couple bucks. You know, a couple bucks for a quarter, I'll take that. So that's what I found in my quarter search, and I wanted to keep you guys posted of that. Anyway, here are my 1,000 singles. Let's see what I've got this week. For my 1,000 singles, started off finding one bill that had an interesting print error on it. This one there, by the very last 7, you can see that there is a little dot there. Just looking for my pointer here. There's this little print error here, same color. Not sure if that's an over ink error or if it's a double print or what it is, but it drew my attention, so I decided to pull it. I did find a few trinary, or a few quads. This one has quad 4s, 2s, 4s, and 6s. This one has 5 2s in a row. It's a trinary as well, 1s, 2s, and 5s. 5 2s and a 6th 2 at the end, so a total of 6 2s overall, but a block of 5. Found a couple other trinaries, 1s, 7s, and 9s on this particular. This one has 2s, 4s, and 6s. This one we're looking at 0s, 4s, and 8s. And here we've got 2s, 5s, and 6s. This one was really neat. Check out that serial number. It's an alternator with 4 for every other number, 4 3, 4 3, 4 5, 4 5. Almost a repeater there, 43, 43, 45, 45. That would have been a really neat one to find. Still a cool looking bill all the same, so I'm going to keep that one. Found a number of star notes. This one's fairly crisp. I'm going to check these on the website. 2013. This one's a 2013 as well, out of New York. Another 2013. Most of the star notes I found were 2013s. This one's in pretty rough shape. You can see it's tore there, and it's a low number. So I start to think, oh boy, that could have been worth some money. Let's hope it's not a rare star in that condition. San Francisco. This one's from 2006. I've got higher hopes for this just because the older star notes tend to rate a little bit more, or a little bit rarer, I should say. Speaking of older bills, found a couple of those from 1999. I always save all my bills that are 1999 and older because, I mean, they're 20 years old. Another 99. Not quite as good a shape. Another 99. This one's still got some crispness to the paper, so that's a good one. This one's a little rougher. It's a 1995. Somebody used this for origami, apparently. I pulled it just to show that, yes, you can still find bills like this out there, but not a keeper by any stretch. And then I finally found one. This is a 1963B $1 bill. The 1963Bs are known as Barr notes. Joseph W. Barr, Secretary of the Treasury. Now, the 63B series, they did not make a lot of these. In fact, the entire run of 63A, the San Francisco notes, the ones that have the L here, they made more 1963A out of San Francisco than they did all of the 1963Bs from all the Federal Reserves combined. So these notes were scarce when they were printed. So to find one in circulation, that gets me kind of excited. This is what you're looking for. 63 was the first year that we actually had this particular design in a Federal Reserve note for a 1, and I found one in circulation. So yes, it can be done. Not in the greatest of shape, but this note is older than I am. Speaking of old notes, I pulled this out of my safety deposit box. This is a $5 bill, and it's not in the greatest of shape, but we're going to find out why in a second. Let me zoom in over here. You can see the red seal. That means it's a legal tender note, so it was backed by something. It says Act of February 25th, 1862. This bill was actually printed in 1863. This is an 1863 $5 bill. This would be the second printing of $5 bills. The very first printing was 1862, obviously. This is when the federal government decided they were going to start printing money. So the very first $5 bill ever printed, in fact, the very first bill ever printed by the federal government was a $5 bill. It looked just like this. It simply had two different signatures on it. Didn't have these two signatures on it. And the $5 bills that were first printed, those were also hand-signed. This is from the second series that they printed. So this is not, for those of you who keep track of the Friedberg numbers, this is not Friedberg number 1. This is a little higher than that because it's the second printing. Anyway, this bill, what it was backed by was, of course, bonds, and those were war bonds. Those were bonds to help fund the Civil War. So this bill, even though it isn't in the greatest of shape, you can see that's a pretty major crease down the middle. You can see it's got pieces missing here, a little bit on the top. Let's take a look at the back of this note. Yeah, you can see this note is far from perfect. However, if this note was perfect, currently books out, it's somewhere around $12,500. I do not have $12,500 to spend on a mint version of this note, so I chose to get one that was in a little bit rougher condition so that I could at least have one of these bills. So like I said, this one is from 1863. It is the second printing of the $5 bill, the very first version of the $5 bill our federal government ever printed. And with that, I'll end it for this week. If you learned something new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're interested in seeing my videos and seeing more of them, hit that subscribe. And if you've got friends that think it's neat, make sure to share this stuff with them. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.